Hey guys, welcome to the first lesson of the course. As you know, this is what we're going to create, the 12 bells of New Year's Eve. So it's going to be very fun. We're going to do this on Illustrator first to create the vector files, and then we're going to After Effects. So the first thing that I want to do is to create the color palette, because as you know, you can see that we have a very nice color palette, and I have it here on Illustrator. We're going to use four colors, only four colors, but you can see that on the final result we mix these colors in a very beautiful way, so it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to first talk about this. We have these four colors. I'm going to share with you the file with the color palette, but well, just so that you know how to import this to your swatches panel. It's pretty simple stuff, but just in case, we have four colors. Then we have this, which is like a very bluish purple. If you double click on the color palette, you can see the hexadecimal code. In this case is this one. Now you don't have to copy this because I'm going to share with you the color palette file, but well, pay attention to the hexadecimal code. And since you have this and you have the swatches panel, all you have to do is to drag this color over here on the swatches panel, and now you have the color. Now repeat this for all of them: the yellow, this pinkish tone, and the green or aquamarine tone. And so you have the four different colors. So this way is so much simpler, because if you create a shape, I don't know, maybe if you create a star, for example, and you have a background, and maybe you want the star to be yellow, or maybe you want the star to be bluish or pink, so you can choose easily your colors this way. You don't have to use the dropper, the eyedropper. You just have to click here. So it's pretty simple stuff. Now remember that I'm going to share with you the color palettes. Now I have this file. I'm going to leave these tones right here over here. I have this file. This file is 800 pixels of width, and of height is 720 pixels. So try to repeat this size, and we're going to use this for our vector files to create this video. Now on this lesson, I also want to talk about something called trim path on After Effects. Trim path is this. You can see, well, let's wait for a second. This kind of animation, these fireworks that you can see on 12 and on first, you can see this kind of fireworks. These are really easy to create on After Effects using trim path. Now I'm going to open After Effects, and I'm going to create a new composition, doesn't matter the size, and I'm going to create a new layer, a new shape layer, and I'm going to create, let me create first with a pen tool a simple line. If I create a line here like this, I can select the stroke or the fill. In this case, I don't want this to have fill, so I'm going to choose none on the fill. And for the stroke, I'm going to choose a different color. Let me choose white, and let me make it thicker. Alright, like this. Now on the shape layer, if you open up your shape layer, you will have the contents, and on the contents you will have the shape, which in this case is the line. Now on the shape, you have the path, you have the stroke, which is where we have the width of the stroke, the opacity, and the color, and even the line cap. In this case, we can use a round cap. Now we have the fill, which we can really erase because we don't need any fill. And you have here this option. What I want is to replicate this effect of the fireworks, and to do that I'm going to use a little something called trim path. Now if you click here on add, it's on the right side of contents. If I click here and go to this menu and go to trim path, you now have a new option called trim path 1. Now you can see that we have some stopwatch here. We have the start, the end, and offset. Now if I click here on end and create a keyframe with a stopwatch, and then go, let me go like 15 frames, and I'm going to change this from 100 to 0. This is what will happen. It's trimming the path from 100. In this case the path is completed, and then it will go to 0%, which is invisible, the path. Now if I change this, we can create a nice animation growing from 0 to 100. We have this. Which can be used for a lot of things. In this case we're going to use it to create this effect of the fireworks. Now if you now create a keyframe for the start right when the end goes to 100, we can create a keyframe here and then move on 15 more frames and set it to 100, and we will have this. Because it ends on 0, goes to 100, and then the start goes from 0 to 100. So we can create nice animations with this. And of course, if I trim my timeline to this point, I will have an endless loop. So as I said before, this can be used for a lot of things, really a lot of things. And well, in this case we're going to use it for this. I just wanted to show you a quick guide of how to create trim path on After Effects. It's actually quite simple, but maybe you don't know how to create trim path, so it's very important because we're going to use it on this course. So well, now we are prepared to create our first vector files. See you on the next lesson.